Week 10's upon us, and here's three tight ends I'm looking to get rid of before Week 10 starts. The first guy's Robert Tonyan, and he's been on this list and many similar type of videos like this. Should I keep or drop him? But this week, this is the time to drop him. Tonyan, another horrible performance. Third out of fourth week in a row for him. We thought last week Tonyan, he was going to be more in the offense after coming off a 5-catch, 79-yard game. But in week 9, he had one target and one catch for 5 yards. It's the Davante Adams show there in Green Bay. Valdez-Scantling, he had 2 touchdowns in that game as well. And now with Allen Lazard coming back in week 10 or 11, the targets and the playing time for Tonyan are going to go down more. Even Mercedes Lewis scored a touchdown in this game. So Tonyan, I've been saying for weeks, try to sell him or drop him. And this is the time to drop him. His owning just 73%. That's going to drop, I think, significantly going into week 10. The next guy is Trey Burton, a guy I was high on for weeks. But now with Mo Alley Cox back in the mix, Burton, he didn't do much versus a tough Baltimore D in week 9. He only had 1 catch for 6 yards on 4 targets. Burton, he was touchdown dependent anyway. The last 2 weeks, he had 2 rushing touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. So Burton, without that production, he would have had 2 or 3 points in week 9 anyway. So Burton, I think he's droppable. There's some tight ends out there, even though it's a very weak position. But Burton, I would stay away from him. And now he's got Tennessee and Green Bay, who play good versus tight ends in the next 2 weeks. I would drop him. And the third and final guy, guess who? This is the third time on this list for me, is Mike Gesicki. He surprised me a little today. He had 4 catches for 32 yards, but he still had 720. Tua, he was looking to run first. Tua surprised me. I got to give him credit where credit's due versus a good Arizona defense. But anyway, Mike Gesicki, the targets aren't going to be there. Other tight ends are getting in the mix. We saw like Sheenan and Matt Collins. So Gesicki, yeah, he had a decent stat line for PPR, but I just don't see it. The targets aren't there. The inconsistencies have been there the whole year. And Tua, he's throwing more to receivers, it looks like, in the backup tight ends. So that's 3 tight ends I'm looking to get rid of before week 10.